What's going on, people? Today I want to put some spotlight on one of my favorite games of all time. If you haven't heard of this game, prepare to have your mind blown because I still think to this day this is one of the best games ever made. That is SSX 3. Now, if you don't know what SSX is, you're in for a treat, let me tell you. This game right here is one of the greatest games ever made, right? Remember a time when games used to be focused on nothing but fun. There were no microtransactions. There were no battle passes. Games nowadays, they just try to milk you for money, right? And back in the day, back on the PlayStation 2 era, it was the best time to play games. It just simply was. Now, I want to play SSX 3 specifically. I personally think SSX Tricky is also one of the greatest games of all time. But SSX 3 is special in particular because of a select few reasons. This game is so ahead of its time, it's kind of crazy. So, for one, this game released on the PlayStation 2 somewhere in the mid 2000s. I don't know the exact year off the top of my head, probably like 2004 or something like that. And this game feels like a game that could have released on maybe the PS3 generation in terms of scope and how big it is. So you might be wondering, okay, what is SSX? What is this game that you keep gassing up? If you've never played it, it's basically a snowboarding game, but it's not your typical snowboarding game. This was around the time when sports games were getting more experimental and they were doing more, I guess, crazy stuff. In this game, basically, there's a campaign that you can go through where there are 3 peaks to the mountains. There's one big mountain, but there's 3 peaks. There's peak 1, peak 2, and peak 3. The way it works is you pick a racer. So you could pick any one of these characters. These are like the main roster. Some of the fan favorites are Mac, you know, because he was just cool back in the day. Griff, I really loved playing this game just because it was cool to see like this, like, I don't know, little kid doing all this crazy shit. So I was like, damn, Griff's kind of cool. Moby was always a favorite, and Zoe was a favorite. Here's what's crazy about this game. It's not about your traditional snowboarding where it's like, oh, you know, just do the typical snowboarding tricks. You know, you do like a little tail grab here, tail grab there. Okay, so here's how the game starts. So you start as like a new racer. You have this awesome like gimmick in the game where there's Radio Big. It's this like radio station, and there's this guy that basically he just narrates throughout the game like all of your progress. So like and you see I got money in the top right. When you do tricks and stuff, you get money, right? And here's the crazy part. So where I'm at right now, this game is open world technically, right? So the way it works is, so I just dropped down from the top of peak 1. So here's peak 1. This is the first mountain. There's peak 2 and peak 3. So if you go into peak 1, you have races. But the very top marker on the map, that's where I just started. I came from there. But if I go down, you know, you got these races: Snow Jam, Metro City, Happiness. Like, I got all these. Or I could just do a peak race. I'll get into what that is later. But basically, you can do any of these. They also have freestyles, which is basically it's like you just try and do tricks to get points and you beat the high score or whatever. So you got these as well. So the crazy thing is I can go from the top of this mountain all the way down and just like kind of like free skating in like a Tony Hawk game or something like that. But I'm just freeboarding. I could just freeboard all the way down the whole mountain. No loading screens, nothing. Through all of these, well, not all the tracks, but you know, there's like one linear path. Let me show you an example of what that looks like. So basically, the way the world works, okay, they're trying to be tutorials. I don't need tutorials. Get me out of this. So I can do like whatever I want. I could trick around, but then look right here. There's a lodge. Let's see what happens when I go to the lodge, right? So what can I do in the lodge? Is it gonna let me do stuff in what? Well, obviously you can upgrade your character, right? There's gear. I don't know why it's not here, which is weird. But basically you can customize your character. If you saw earlier, my Griff, the little kid, he had like a crown and all that stuff. You can go pretty nutty with the customization. I don't know why there's nothing here right now. I don't know if that has to do with the cheats. If I did something, I have no idea. But there's basically customizable costumes, customizable boards, you know, the typical stuff. And you look at this sign, slope style, big race. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna go down here. You know, I'm gonna go do a race. You know, why not? feel like racing somebody. Oh, I can go to the slope style. Nah, I'm gonna go to the race. And then you go here. So this is basically how the open world aspect of the game works, right? So we're gonna come down here and see. Look, if I went to the left here, that would be the freestyle. So that just means I go through the race like course without racing anybody. So you can just do it for free. And this is what I mean by it's like a seamless open world. And this is all peak 1. This is the first mountain. So one of my favorite things about this game is the presentation, right? They go hard on, for one, the music, the vibes, everything about this. It just makes you feel cool. Now watch this. Watch what I'm about to do. Okay. See, I just knocked his ass down. I get a full bar meter off the jump for doing that. This game encourages BMing. I love that. Who doesn't love a good BM? Now, if you notice on the right there, I'm building what's called Uber, Super Uber. So when you get that, then your tricks start to get tricky. You know what I mean? So then you start doing crazy stuff. So we're gonna look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I'm playing this game. What game is out today where you can just do this? Look at this game, bro. This game is nuts, bro. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my god. First place. I still got it. And what is amazing about this game that still amazes me to this day is how good it feels. They've like, you know how a lot of older games like PS2 generation games, they kind of feel like shit. Like the concept is good, everything looks good, but when you're actually playing it, the controls just don't feel right. There's something wrong about it. Like they just didn't nail it. This game, when I tell you, it just feels right. Okay, I fucked up, but it's alright. I'm still doing this race. They just nailed it, like first try. Well, not first try. They had a couple tries, granted, but even from the first game, the first SSX game, it was pretty good. Like they had good foundation, but this one, oh my god, this feels amazing. Dang, this is not good gameplay. I'm so sorry. Hey, look, I'm in first place. I know what I'm doing. Okay, I used to play this game for hours. I love this game so much. The race is almost done. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish it just so y'all can see what a typical race is like. Granted, I'm too good at the game, so you're not really getting the tense feeling of like other racers. Shit, other racers. You know, like what is it like when they're like, oh my god. See, now I'm trying to get cocky. Okay, I'm trying to do shit that like I normally wouldn't do. But yeah, you're not really getting a feel for how difficult the game can get. Granted, this is an old game and I played it a ton, so I know all the shortcuts. I know how to do everything, so I can't really make the game harder for me, sadly, which is why they should bring this shit back. Because if it was online, if there was an online mode and I could play against other people, I would be honest, you wouldn't be able to get me off this game, let me tell you. So yeah, I'm just doing my tricks and stuff. I'm doing my tricks, right? This is a power up. They have power ups because arcadey game. Who doesn't love a good power up, right? Look at this. Shit's so fucking cool. I'm playing this. I'm playing this. Granted, I'm playing this on an emulator because obviously you can't get it on a modern console, except for the Xbox. If you do have an Xbox, you actually can play this on there, so that's pretty cool. Now, here's another cool thing about this game. So there's heats. Heats are just basically there's 3 rounds to every track, and then when you, based off of your median placement, they'll give you a medal: gold, silver, bronze. You know the deal. But what's really cool about this game, I unfortunately won't really be able to show it to you because I would have to play this race 2 more times. But you notice, like earlier at the beginning of the match, when I BM'd that character and I hit them. So characters in this game, there's like a hidden relationship system where they remember shit. So like if I play multiple races and I keep BMing the same person, they remember it and they get pissed. It might even show it when I come back here. This is what I'm talking about, presentation. This is so cool. Every character has unique animations when they're in the car or whatever. So that's also cool, giving everyone personality. Okay, so it didn't do it, but basically there would be like a little exclamation point above their head, and that would stay like throughout races. And the coolest thing about this is, so let's say I finished the whole heat. I got all the way to the end. You get to the end, and then there's a cutscene that'll play. And it's not guaranteed. It's all dictated on how you played. Granted, it is guaranteed at a certain point because the way the game is structured. But the person that you pissed off, they'll meet you at the end of the race, and they'll say, like, yo, like, 1v1 me, basically. They just run the one. And then what they do is they give you a race after you've completed everything in the peak. They give you a race all the way at the top. It's the peak 1 race. So you go all the way. Okay, so it's locked. I can't even do it right now because I haven't unlocked the rival, whoever's going to be my rival. But essentially you go all the way to the top of the mountain and you race them all the way to the bottom of the mountain. It's so sick. And then here's the crazy thing. So like I said, it's open world technically. If I were to go all the way to the top of peak, now for context, okay, so look, there's like a little loading screen in between each peak. It's an older game, okay? In that case, there's a loading screen. But there's not when you're playing. When you're actually going down the hill. It's so impressive. Okay, so this is the top of peak 2. As you can tell, shit's kind of wicked. Like, it's kind of very, the weather's kind of crazy. So that's how the game gets harder, is they start throwing challenging weather at you. So like there will be more ice, which is hard for your board to get traction on. There's avalanches. Dude, the avalanches are so sick in this game. Like every time it happens, even though like, you know, it's not, look, here's one right there. Like there's a little mini one. Even though it's like not procedural, like it's scripted, it's the sickest shit ever. And it's like, damn, look, I can't even control where I'm going. The wind is pushing me to the right. I can't even stay on course. Yeah, look at this. I can't even, it makes it so much harder to play. This is how you know it's been a while since I've played, because normally I would be going crazy right now. But yeah, as you can see, the weather gets crazy. Everything gets crazier, honestly. But like peak 1, you can go all the way from the top of this mountain all the way down to the bottom. So we're gonna go to peak 3. We're just gonna take it all the way to the top. What is the peak of this game, right? And I don't know how many races are in this game. There's probably like a good 20 something, like total. So this is the very, very top, and you can go all the way from here all the way down to the first mountain. And something about that for the time is so impressive. Like I can't think of other games that were doing stuff like this at the time. Like I literally can't. I mean, you could probably name one. I'm very open to hearing what games that you know that like have this similar type of level design. But yeah, you can literally just go freeboard all the way from here. Oh, look at this. This is so cool. Bro, I just grinded off a cannon that just shot and created a avalanche that broke ice for me to board. Part of this game is crazy. Oh my god, I'm geeking now. Yeah, they went so hard with this game. EA Big, they need to bring that shit back. I'm sorry. SSX needs to come back. It needs multiplayer. Like I need that to happen before I leave this earth. I need to play a new SSX game that's good, because if you ask any SSX fan, the series peaked with this game. They tried to make other ones, but without EA Big, it never was the same. It just never was. They never could recapture the magic. They never had the passion that team had with this game. Like I would give so much to have this shit come back. You have no idea. This game is so much fun. Every time I pick it back up, I just want to play it for hours. It's just amazing. It's hard to describe it too. Like, I don't know how watching this video without, you know, actually like feeling how the game feels, I don't know how it comes across, like if it looks cool or not. To me, it looks so sick. I think this game is it shows off very well. Like just watching someone play it, it just looks fun. It's just like, it's the classic Tony Hawk like style of just, look at all this crazy shit I'm doing. Like there's stuff that no human can accomplish, and I'm just doing. Like, look at this game. it's so cool, and I would just love a new one. There's so many ideas they could implement. Just imagine like creating your own character, custom tricks. Bro, it writes itself. If you want to put microtransactions in it, I'm okay with that. Just, you know, have customization. You can just buy a bunch of cool skins. They'll add new tricks to the game, and you can just buy new tricks. Like, bro, this game would make mad money. Look at this. I'm already at 16 grand doing all this crazy stuff. This game is so innovative. It's so different. Like, there's nothing like this that exists, and it makes me mad. Like, I just want more of this. Like, what a game. What a game. Anyway, that's it for the video. I just wanted to show off SSX and show some love to this game. I might make this like a little thing where I just go down memory lane on a bunch of games that I'm just like, man, what happened? Why don't we get games like this anymore, you know? So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, or if you have a game that you personally think is amazing, there's a plane flying, I'm sorry for that, ruining my intro. How rude, right? If there's a game that you like or used to like in your childhood that you think is severely underrated and needs to be talked about more, I would love to see a comment about that. And yeah, see you tomorrow.